All right, brother. Two meatheads just talking shit, sipping on coffee. This is heaven for me.
Yeah,
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 man. So what got you into the gym, dude? Because you kind of like pushing maybe a couple of kilos here and there.
yeah, just a little bit. What got me into the gym? Honestly, I was just when I was younger, I loved sports. Uh, and my dad kept pushing me to go to the gym because he told me eventually I wouldn't be able to compete with the guys who did go. Here's my
Oh my
cat.
God, you got a
Every
cat.
every podcast I do, she tries the same cat. She runs up. She wants to get in the camera.
That's
Um,
amazing, man.
but yeah, I just realized I wouldn't be able to compete in sports if I didn't start working out. So
Hmm.
that's what got me in the gym originally. I loved football, baseball, basketball, played some ice hockey as well. Um, so that, and then it just kind of turned into a like a safe space for me, if that makes sense. Where nothing was going wrong, and I would just lift as heavy as I could. What are you doing?
I love
Sorry,
cats, man. Like
do
again,
you?
this honestly, this fucking warms my soul. One of my best mates over here, right, Jonathan, he's from San Diego, and he
Yeah,
looks pretty similar. He's like just this jacked American dude, you know what I mean? Like just this lovely little guy, but fucking yoked, and he's obsessed with cats.
yeah, we
And I'm
got a
like,
bunch.
dude, this is awesome, man. Get him under a bar, he'll fucking bench press something disgusting. I don't even want to think about it. It makes me cry. But mate, I love it, man. I wanna dive into that topic of the safe space
Okay,
because that's yeah, that's me in a nutshell. You know what I mean? I would just go out in the backyard and put rocks in a bag and lift it up. We were broke, so we didn't have any gym
right.
equipment or anything like that, and we had I used to use the bins to do some dips and
Hmm.
an old rusty up pull up bar in between the ginnel. You know what I mean? Like just some ghetto type shit.
Using like a
Um,
towel for curls, stuff like
yeah,
that.
yeah, man.
I
You know what I
remember doing
mean?
stuff like that too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's a time where you can kind of like you can kind of escape everyday life, right? And it's
Yep.
just kind of you,
Absolutely.
and you get to have that fist fight with yourself.
Yeah. That's pretty much it. You nailed the hammer on the or hammered the nail on the head. I don't
Yeah,
know the saying, something like that. But yeah, it's like you go into the gym and everything that was wrong in the outside world just kind of goes away. It's just you and the weights. If you're there with a friend, it's you and your friends obviously in the weights, so it's a little more social. But
mm.
I feel like for a lot of the elite lifters, it's kind of a mental thing.
Yeah, and I think that's something that professional, semi-pro, elites, whether they're getting money about it or not, just the top dogs, right? They don't get credit for that type of side. We kind of look at it and like, oh, they're gladiators in the arena. This is physically dominating, amazing, whatever. And then we go flick another channel on ESPN, right, and
Right.
watch someone else, right? And it's like, no, this person had to overcome a lot and probably is still overcoming a hell of a lot just to
Yeah.
go into that gym or out on the track or in the pool or whatever it is, right?
You there?
Yeah, yeah, I'm here, man.
Oh, sorry, I thought you froze. My dog was whining. That's why I turned.
Oh no,
He
it's
he hears me talking and he wants some attention. But yeah, no, it's it gets to a point where it becomes a job and it kind of, even if you don't want to go, you have to. And that's kind of even worse because it's like I said, it was an escape when I first started after sports. Um, and then sometimes it'll get to a point where it's like, you don't want to go to the gym, but you have to because it
yeah,
became your lifestyle.
yeah.
And it kind of has a negative effect at that point because, like you said, it's an escape. And then imagine being forced to go there. It's like being forced to go to therapy or something.
Yeah, yeah. Although, like, sometimes the gym isn't good for us, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
like we touched on before, like it kind of gets to the stage where it's like, is this healthy anymore? Wow. Are we going for health or are we going for performance? Because they're two different goals, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like
So,
when I was growing up, man, I used to train. I mean, I still train 7 days a week. And I've been told by all the pros, everyone like that, like, man, if you take an off day or a rest day, like you'll get so much more gains out of it. And I'm like, man, I can't skip a day. Like I have to go. And that's just how I've always been. And now with the way my program's written, I can kind of if I need an off day, I can take it, but right now
Mm,
I still don't.
mm,
Um, so it's kind of a little more fluid, if that makes sense.
mm, mm.
You need to
Yeah,
go potty? What's wrong with you? No? Okay.
you
Sorry.
become a little no, don't apologize. Like you become a little bit more intuitive with your training, right? Like that training age
Yeah.
has gone up. You understand your body and the relationship you have with it, right? And also with the program, and you're like, okay, cool. Like now I can push a little bit here. I'll ease off there, but I'll keep going
Yeah.
in.
Absolutely, man. Like right now I'm taking about like it's not really a deload, but it's kind of a 3-week break um from really going heavy. So I guess you could say it's a deload, but I'm doing like AMRAPs with like 2 plates, 3 plates, 4 plates on bench. And of course, here's my cat again. But yeah, so it's like I feel like after that 660, my body probably needed a short rest, a break, a little longer than just a deload before I start prepping for 700. Um, Me and my girl have been going on a lot of vacations and stuff, so I figured I would kind of delay, my routine to kind of make sure I can go and enjoy these vacations, if that
Yep.
makes sense.
Yep. 100%.
So,
Yep. It can definitely take over life a little bit,
yeah,
especially when you're really pushing that performance and you're going for those extra couple pounds or half a kilo here, like that, it starts taking over.
yeah. I mean, well, that's what happened when I tore my tricep.
Ooh,
Um, I really, wasn't doing anything at all in life, if that makes sense. Like I wasn't going out, I wasn't having fun with friends and doing anything like that. Um, and then like, it was about 3 or 4 months since I had gone out and enjoyed myself. And I decided to go out and, I'm getting older now. I'm 29 and I don't recover as quickly from nights out,
mm-hmm,
compared to
mm-hmm.
when I was 21. And I went to the gym in the morning, dehydrated, no food on me, tried lifting like I was, and my body was just like, no, it's not going to happen. So it's kind of a lesson there, but that's why I'm kind of delaying my programming now, so I can, still have some fun when I go
Yeah,
out.
man. Yeah, man. I remember being 19 and going into the gym after a night out, still pissed and PR'd my 10 rep max front squat.
Yeah, yeah, dude, that's how it was. I remember going in like when I was 21, 22. I would be not in the best of shape, and I would go in and hit some heavy weights and be perfectly fine. Probably even feeling better.
Yeah, yeah. It's like, oh, it's fine. I just need to feel some weight. It's like, dude, like you can't even like walk straight.
Yeah.
It's like, no, it's fine. Muscle memory kicks in, man. You know, you're like,
Yeah.
we are not endorsing this. Do not go in the gym. Still pissed.
Right, right. That's the thing. I was super like conflicted with what I wanted to talk about when I initially tore it. To tell people like, yeah, I went out drinking the night before, um, because it's kind of like a bad role model, if that makes sense. That I have drank or I do drink, if that makes like
Uh,
for people looking up. It's this because there's like a whole uh what is it, stigmatism that like,
mm,
drinking is bad, whatever. And it
mm.
was like, yeah, I went out and I had fun, but I ended up tearing my tricep because of it. Could have not been because of it, could have been because of other things, but it was such a small tear that it was pretty much due to dehydration. But
Yeah.
I was kind of conflicted if I wanted to share that or not when it happened. And I was like, you know what? It's the truth. It's whatever. Like, if people want to go out and get absolutely hammered because of it, like, that's not my fault,
Yeah,
you
yeah, yeah,
know?
yeah.
But
Like
yeah,
personal
so
accountability is still a thing, mate. Just because one athlete tries it and it doesn't work out, like it doesn't give everybody else a free
yeah,
pass and be like, oh, this
it's
person did it. It's like, no, dude, like you did it.
exactly. It's like, it's because I was talking to one of my friends and they were like, well, just because you bench, 600 plus doesn't mean every kid out there is going to try and load 600 up and try and bench it. I was like, yeah, that makes sense. I was like, okay, cool. So I'll
Mm.
just be honest, like, shit
So
happens.
so let's I want to break this down because they've got such a vast variety of people listening, right? You've got people that are like you and I who just basically are hermits and live in the gym. And then
Yeah.
we've also got people that probably never set foot in a gym before, right? So 600 pounds, I'm gonna do the That's 220, no, 273 kilos.
Hang on. So you just froze for like a solid 3 minutes.
You got me?
Yeah, I got you now. I got you now.
Sorry, man, fucking time zones, you know what I mean? Like we're basically
You're fine. I wasn't sure if it's on my side or not. Every now and then, like my Wi-Fi will flicker, man. So
it's okay, man. Like, like it's not gonna be perfect. We're on the other side of the world,
yeah, yeah. What
like
time is it over there?
4:45.
Okay, that's not bad.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's like later in the night for you.
No, in the morning.
Oh, in the morning.
Yeah, yeah.
That's early, bro. We could have
Nah,
waited, man. I
nah,
could
nah,
take
nah.
it. If I knew it was that early, I thought it was gonna be night over there.
Nah. So we're ahead. Um,
Okay.
and I got the morning class after this, and and then
Okay,
a
I
full
got you.
day, and if I want to keep, what am I gonna do? Am I gonna offer people slots, and they've got to get up at like bloody 4 o'clock in the morning? They're gonna tell me to go fuck myself.
That's
So I'll be
true.
like,
That's
don't
true.
worry about it, guys. Like I'll get up. It's fine. Like
Yeah,
it's all right. I'll train later on in the day. Sometimes I train in the morning.
that makes
Um,
sense. Why you're having coffee then?
well, I have
I'm
coffee
sitting
and go
here
to
having
sleep, man.
coffee at like 11:30, whatever time it is, 10 o'clock. You're over here 5 a.m.
I think I've literally done this and had these conversations like every hour of the day, man.
I believe it. That's
Like
early, man. That's
you gotta do what
I
you gotta
used to
do,
do that. I used to do that. I can't anymore. Now I need at least 8, 10 hours of sleep. I'm
But
old.
it's funny though, man, because like have you heard the read the book The Body Keeps the Score?
No, I haven't.
Nah, me neither, but I've been basically referenced it like fucking I don't know how many times I feel like I've read it, right? So similar concept of like whatever's going on upstairs, body keeps hold of it, we start breaking down, right? And then you add on age onto that as well as we start kind of progressing through. Like honestly, I feel like I need 8 hours. I can
Yeah,
sometimes get away with 7, sometimes. If I'm less than 7, I'm like, nah, man, like I can't function. Body hurts, I'm inflamed, like anything's going on upstairs, and I've kind of like pushed it to the side for a couple of days, maybe a week. If I get
right.
to 2 weeks, my back hurts, my shoulders fucked. And I'm like, what
Yes.
is going on, man? I used to be an absolute savage. And now it's just like I'm getting the shit kicked out of me.
No, I definitely get that, man. We just went up to New York for to go to my friend's wedding, and I slept like just off to the side a little bit, and my trap was just absolutely killing me.
Yeah, man.
And I got home. I think we slept for like 12 hours or something, man, because I just needed it. Hey, are you trying to get in this? What do you want?
What's the name?
Phoenix. She's one
No
of, we
way.
rescued her. Yeah.
I got a cat called Phoenix.
Do you?
Yeah, man. That's so weird.
That's awesome. Boy or girl?
The girl.
Girl? Okay, good. She's a girl too.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah.
we rescued her from a like a camping site
Oh wow.
where like a lot of people go camping, and someone just abandoned her there. And she's got super like really bad trust issues. We've had her for about 2 years, and any human she'll like book it. Like she
Yeah.
doesn't want to go anywhere near her. But with me, she freaking follows me everywhere, man.
That's so
As you can
similar,
tell,
man.
it's a podcast, and she's like, "Oh, I want to be in this." You
Yeah.
know.
I got a story. So, about a year and a half, maybe a year and a half ago, I was in this flat, like an absolute fucking dive of a flat, right? Like, you're getting by. I was broke as piss. I was living on $50. I was sleeping on the floor, and the only thing I had in this place was my cat, right? We're chilling out. And anyway, I'd get up in the middle of the night, do these podcasts, and I'd have a chair on top of my desk and put my laptop on my chair. So I'd have a standing desk, right? And I'd have to like kind of it was freezing fucking cold in there. I couldn't pay for the heating. But like, I just put one of the blankets underneath the chair, and she would sit on there in the middle of the night. And I'd just have to like half cuddle her and talk to
Yeah.
people across the world and then get back into bed. So yeah, man, like I completely
We get
relate
it.
to that. Like they just stick to you. Like I think the strays are the best. They got more stories, you know.
Yeah, we rescued one not too long ago. He was showing up at our house late at night, and we would feed him.
Mm,
And like, I'm sure you know, when a cat knows it's gonna die, they like run away so
mm,
that they can like they don't like give you diseases or anything, like with the whole pack mentality.
mm.
And he had a hole in his forehead. He had cuts all around his neck. Um, both of his front legs were infected, and he had like a really high fever. And he actually came to our house and fell asleep in front of our door. So we took him to the vet, and they were like, we gave him fluid, we gave him some antibiotics and stuff like that. If he makes it past this week, we'll give him his shots, and then we can go from there. And of course, you know, he made it, and he's like the most grateful cat you'll ever meet.
Yeah.
Like, he'll follow you everywhere. He'll beg for pets. He'll cuddle with you. He's like a big fat chunky cat now. But yeah, he's got some battle wounds. You know, I don't know what happened to him, but
Strutting down the neighborhood, just like check my scars out, bitches.
it almost looks like, you know, like a kid like wrapped barbed wire around him or something,
Oh
man. But
man.
I don't think that's what happened. But
Mm.
you know, the wound on his head, it didn't look like a scratch or a cut. It looked like someone hit it with like a hammer almost, you know.
Wow.
It's weird. It was like a big, you know, a big circle open, just I don't know. And here's my other one. Bang, come here.
Oh.
Yeah, that's the one that was whining earlier. I don't know if he needs to go out or not, but he's been. You need to go potty? Yeah. Hang on. Come on. Go.
Pets are the best, man.
Yeah.
What part of the states you in?
Tennessee.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
How is Tennessee?
It's great, man. Like the food's incredible. Price wise, it's a lot cheaper than New York was. So, you know, money goes a lot further. But I love it down here, man. South's great.
You get a lot for your money, right? In terms of like
Yeah.
you get a lot of land and house and size and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Especially compared to New York. Like, I would say, you know, a house here that's like 300 to 500K in New York would easily be like over $1 million.
Eesh.
Yeah, so it's like you probably got like 2 to 3 times.
It blows my mind, mate. And it like I picture the States being like this place, New Zealand on steroids, right? Because I came over here and I'm used to like terrace housing, you know, living in a flat above a shop. You know,
Right.
you kind of just like everybody's standing on each other's toes, like there's no space type stuff. And that's just life. We don't see that as small living. We just see that as living, right?
Yeah.
I come over here and everybody's got a few acres of land, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, is everybody rich or something? And it's like, no, like you get more for your money. I was like, oh, okay. And then obviously I look over to the States. I'm like, how much land have you got? Like, what are you doing with
Yeah.
that?
That's how the South is, man. Like, people have acres just everywhere. You know, we really
Crazy.
don't, because we live in a neighborhood.
Mm.
But you know, it's nice. Everyone's friendly. There's like kids around here and stuff like that. So we're looking at probably buying a farm sometime soon, so we can get a lot more acreage. And then
Mm.
obviously we have so many animals, like we could get more at that point, you
Yeah, yeah,
know.
yeah. It's funny, right? Because as you get older, you kind of want your own little space and your own little like seclusion from the
Yes.
world. It's kind of like, hey, we've done our time now. You know, we've contributed, we've passed that baton forward, and like just give me a little bit of space in the corner of the world, and let me just do my thing.
It's like have you seen that house that's on an island? It's like, I don't know where it is. I think it's in Europe somewhere, or maybe Ireland or something. It's
Oh,
literally like a small little house just on this like a lone island out in the middle of nowhere.
yeah, I think it might be Norway.
Yeah, somewhere like that, man. But that's pretty much what you're saying. You know, like, just let me live over there for the rest of my life once
Yeah,
I've done what I need to do. You
yeah,
know.
mate. I think about that regularly, man. Like, I'm just gonna go live in like a tree house in the middle of Norway or Finland or something.
Yeah.
You know, I'm blonde hair and blue eyed. I'll fit in. You know, I'm as white as a piece of paper. You know,
Right.
so it's fine. I'm kind of suited to the cold, so I'll just kind of go up there. I'll chop logs.
Oh, that's
You
how I
know,
am, man. I love the cold.
yeah,
I'm
man.
Russian, so
Oh
you know.
wow, I was gonna
Yeah,
say like the last name. It's not so European.
yeah, yeah. I'm Russian, and I love the cold. And it's my father came here about I think 30 years ago.
Wow.
So yeah, he was trying to get out of the. I guess Russia wasn't really a good place back then. I don't really think it is now, but
Yeah, I'm fucking well, yeah.
he was just trying to get out of there.
Yeah,
But
yeah. Do you sauna?
I used to. I haven't really done it much here because there aren't really that many places here.
Mm,
Uh, yeah, I used to always hop in like the sauna and ice bath and stuff like that.
mm.
Um, not much anymore, but I still do an ice bath occasionally when I feel like it's needed. Kind of when I'm banged up.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But I just do it at the house, and it's kind of like I don't know. It's not as effective. I guess it
Mhm.
is, but I don't know. I'm pretty fat, and the fit in a bathtub for me is like I can get maybe my legs in it and not my upper body.
And then you got to
But
switch around, right, with the snorkel on, so you
yeah,
can still
exactly. I got
breathe.
it with my ass hanging out of the side of the bath, and I'm just head first. You know.
Your neighbor comes back to like give something back, and you're like, "What the fuck is going on here?"
Right, right. My
Just
girl, my girl will come downstairs and be like, "What are you doing?" You know.
it's like it's not an open invitation. Leave me alone.
Exactly.
You know. No, I bring it up because I spent a lot of time in Eastern Europe over like Slovakia and Croatia, right? And I know
Yeah.
there's a massive culture around saunas, man. Like I knew it was in Scandinavia and stretched across there, but I didn't know it kind of came down as well. And then I knew it was in Russia, but I didn't know it came down into Eastern Europe. And yeah, man, as soon as we got ill, like families would take us like, no, 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 fuck that. They'd give us a shot of like this plum vodka, would get dragged in the car. And I was like, oh my God, we're getting kidnapped here. What are we doing? And then they're like, right, go in there. And I was like, what is this? It's like, oh, some eucalyptus sauna. And we have to go in
Yeah.
there and then in the snow and then back in. And mate,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
feel
Yeah.
phenomenal, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
The science is there's a lot of science behind it, and it's supposedly really good for you.
yeah, yeah.
It's weird that a lot of athletes don't do it here. I'm sure they probably do at like advanced levels, which technically I should do too, but there's not really any public areas that do it, you
Really?
know. And in New York, there was a couple Russian spas and in like
Mm,
Brooklyn and stuff like that. I've been to a couple of those. They'll beat you with the not a broom, but it's like leaves, like tree
leaves, yeah.
leaves, to help pull the blood to the skin. And then then you jump in the ice bath, like you said, back in the hot sauna and back and forth a couple times.
And
But
even if it's purely for mental toughness, right? And just for the psychological benefits, like you feel lighter once you've done it, a
yeah,
100%.
yeah,
I whenever I go in the sauna and someone's like, "Oh, what you doing?" I was like, I'm just gonna go to the sauna. It's like, "Oh, why'd you do it?" I was like, honestly, I go in there to hate myself for 30 minutes, and then I come on out. I know it sounds really crazy, but I feel phenomenal when I get out.
I was about to say with the whole mental part, like, so I just did 225 for 100, right,
What the
on bench,
fuck?
and I told my girl that like 3 or 4 weeks ago, I think maybe 5 weeks ago, I attempted it for 100 and I only did 90, right, and I was really upset about it because I thought I did 100, and then got some cat hair in my nose. Sorry. And then the week after that, I only did it for 80, and because I thought I was at 90 and I was going to do 10 more, and my girlfriend was like, "You're only at 80," because I was miscounting like all the time. So 5, 6 weeks later, I told her, I was like, "Look, I know I can do it. If I want to rack the weight, just push the bar back down onto me and make me do it." I was like, mentally, don't let me quit. I was like, physically, I know I can do it, but mentally, don't let me quit.
Yeah.
So the fact that you brought up like the whole mental aspect of like the sauna and the ice bath that's a huge part, dude, because people don't want to sit in the heat. They don't want to go jump in cold water. Um, and a lot of people don't want to lift. So, ouch.
100%, mate. Doing shit that you don't want to do is good for you. I think
Yeah,
self-induced suffering, there is some sort of beauty in that. Like, I mean, there's gonna be motherfuckers that are gonna take that to an extreme, right? And
right. Yeah.
I don't mean put yourself there. I mean just do something that you don't want to do.
I was gonna say, yeah, make yourself feel uncomfortable every now and then. It definitely gets you, to enjoy yourself more.
Yeah, yeah,
That's part of life.
Yeah, gratitude. I think for dudes, it's really important to kind of humble our ego a little bit,
Right, right.
whether you
A
like it
lot
or
of people
not.
say, man, like, I know this is gonna sound dumb. A lot of people say I've got a huge ego in my comments because I'm like doing all these lifts and stuff like that for social media, and I'm just sitting here like, I started my Instagram as a training,
Training log,
like a
right?
training log.
Yeah.
I just posted everything. If you could scroll back and you could see me when I was like 21. I've got 7 years of training there, and it's like yesterday when I was working out, I was like, I'm gonna go for a 365 for a set of like 15 on shoulders. And I was like, is that a PR? Like, I really don't know. So all I had to do was scroll back on my Instagram to my last set with 365, and I realized my best was 13 reps.
Hmm.
So for me, it's all just like a training log of what I've done. And of course, now at the point where, people want to see what I could do. Um, I don't know. It's just the whole you need to drop your ego thing is, I think, definitely, people need to humble themselves, and just that'll help you get to where you want to get to. But
Hmm.
I don't know. I was about to go on a whole ass rant. I'm not going to do that. I
No,
don't even remember
brother.
what I was trying to say to begin with, but something about like, I feel like I don't really have much of an ego, and I can try and learn from everyone and
Hmm.
anyone, if that makes sense.
I think you definitely don't have an ego. If you did, I wouldn't have reached out to have a conversation.
Thank you.
Like there's I think there's I think you can kind of spot who has an ego and who hasn't in a gym once you've kind of come up through it. You know what I mean?
Right.
And what people don't realize, or what a lot of people don't realize, is when you're underneath that bar or above it, like it's you and you. Like you are the barbell.
Yeah.
Like the parts are and this is kind of me because someone pointed this out to me a while back. So I like weightlifting, right? That's kind of my
Mhm.
poison. Um, and they're like, "Oh, you always approach the bar the same way. Like the left foot goes under, you spin it, right hand goes on, blah 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 blah, and then you never look happy. You kind of look at it afterwards." And I'm like, "Yeah, because like everything that I don't like about me, and everything that we kind of had to have gone through, and kind of to get to me this point, is now that barbell.
Yeah.
I am the barbell, and I have to
Yeah.
kind of beat that up, so then I can leave it where it is. You know what I mean?"
But that's what I love about powerlifting, man. It's like you said, it's you versus you. A lot of kids nowadays kind of they get way too competitive in powerlifting. It's
Yeah,
not a bad thing. Sure, you want to be one of the best, but like at the end of the day, if you're improving yourself, like it's just you versus you.
yeah,
There's a kid actually just asked me on Instagram, like, if he could interview me for a school like project. And he asked me what, if anything, what would I change in powerlifting? And I was like, make there be less rules. Like,
mm,
if someone lifts more than me because they pulled sumo and I lifted less conventional, it's not because he pulled sumo, it's because he's stronger than me.
yeah. I
You know what
get
I
you.
mean? And it's like, I don't know. It's like you said, like it's you versus you. Like, why do you care if someone else lifted more than you or if someone lifted less than you? Like, just try and improve yourself.
Yeah,
So that's my approach to the bar. It's like you just said, me versus me, and I'm trying to improve the best I can.
yeah, yeah,
You
man.
know,
I mean, the thing is, like now it's become like about accolades and trophies and quote unquote
right?
insta fame, right? Whether that's fame or not, if I don't fucking know, and I don't really give a shit. But
And well,
we've,
part of me is kind of like a part of the problem too. Because
yeah,
I'm out here posting all these super heavy lifts, but I never really post like my actual workouts.
yeah,
Because no kid wants to see me do a back down set for a 3x8 with 80% of my working weight or whatever the hell it is, or my light lateral raises that I do every day, 20-pound lateral raises. They want to see me lateral raise the hundreds.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I don't know.
I think,
It's I don't know. It's the dream. Everyone wants to be insta famous or this and that, and everyone wants to be acknowledged or credited for the work they put in.
yeah,
Bro, I mean, I don't know how old you are, but how long have you been working out for?
14 years.
14 years, exactly. So I've been working out for 19. So you get it. We
Yep.
put in a lot of work, bro. Like, and some of these kids are, 18 years old. They'll message me. They're like, "Hey, man, I've been working out for a year and I've plateaued. What, what should I do? Or like, some kid was like 17 or 16, and he was like, "Hey man, I want to run in SARMs." And I was like, "Bro, you're 16. Eat some fucking chicken." You know what I mean? Eat some chicken, and your natural testosterone's through the roof. Your growth hormones are through the roof. Like,
Yeah.
all you got to do is work out, and you'll get huge.
Yeah.
That's why some of these 18-year-olds who have perfect diet, they look absolutely insane, and they lift. You know, they've been dieting for like they've probably been working out since they were 10, like almost 8 years.
Mm-hmm.
But like they don't realize how much work we put in, bro.
For sure, man. Like it was quite funny. Like my best mate here, she comes up to me. I was like, I kind of want to get into lifting. I was like, oh, awesome. Like I'll teach you the basics and whatever. And when she kind of got that dialed in, I was like, oh yeah, what do I do? I was like, oh, you're gonna do 5x5. She's like, oh, great. And I was like, yeah, you're gonna do that for 2 years.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean? I was like, just don't talk to me for 2 years. And she ended up doing it for 18 months. And then I kind of like played around with it. But like, and then she comes up to me now, like she likes powerlifting, right? It was like, I'm so glad you made me do that, you know, because it's kind of like you've enforced that it takes time. You build a foundation. And like when things don't really go well, a body's not going to break. And I was like, well, you know, this is kind of what you got to do. Just kind of get in and get out.
Well, like my girlfriend's kid is 15, and he's been working out with me for about 8-9 months, and she spoiled him. She had him try some filet, and now the kid loves filet. But every now and then I'll cook him a ribeye, and he enjoys that. But dude, in 9 months, he looks like he's put on like 40 pounds of muscle, even though he probably weighs the same.
Yeah.
And every day he's like, I want to go heavy. And I'm like, nah, we're going to stick to sets of like 8 to 12.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, he's like, well, I could go heavier. And I'm like, and now that it's been about 9 months, I'm letting him push his limits. You know, I think he hit like the 60-pound dumbbells for a set of 5 or something. Dude's growing strong, man, like quick. But like I said, for the first 8 months, I just had him do strictly hypertrophy because that was his goal, you know. And now he's like, when he first came to me, he was like, yeah, I want to look like this. And he showed me like this skinny boy with like had abs, you know what I mean? Like this like not skinny fat, but skinny muscular with like just abs and no shoulders or anything. And he's like, this is what I want to look like. And now 9 months later, he's like, no, I want to bulk. Why would I want to cut right now?
Yeah.
I was like, yes. Like, let's get huge, bro.
Bulking, not sulking, brother, you know?
It was like one of the best feelings, man, when he was like, no, I don't want to cut. He's like, I want to get big and strong. I was like, all right.
Yeah, it's funny, like when you kind of get in, right, especially with all the media kind of not manipulation but influence, and you're like, oh yeah, I just want to get shredded, bro. And you're like, all right, fuck, okay, you got these people coming in and literally like a couple months down the line, they're like, fuck that, man, like dieting sucks, let's get massive. You're like, oh, thank you.
Well, it's the thing, like they don't realize, you know, all these influencers, you know, like I said, it probably took them like 8 years to get to the point where they're at. You know, these kids are in a caloric deficit, man, and it's their first year of lifting. You're not going to gain much. You know, sure, you might gain, you know, I'm over exaggerating, 10 pounds of muscle in a year. But like, dude, if you dirty bulked, you could probably put on like 30 pounds total. Let's say 15 pounds of fat, 15 pounds of muscle. And then you cut the second year, and then you're already up 5 pounds of muscle. You know, I don't know. It's hard to gain weight, you know, as a natural lifter when you're low body fat percentage, unless you have, you know, God-given genetics. But
yeah.
I don't know.
That's not me, bro.
Yeah, me either. Well, no, I was always skinny growing up, but it's taken me 18 years of bulking to get to this frame. So
nice.
Yeah, I've got a nice keg going on right now. My belly, you know, everything. I'm chunky.
So what, man? Maths moves maths. You know, there's no weight classes in the jungle.
Exactly, bro. What was it? There was someone who commented on it. One of my bench videos, and he was like, man, you know, pound for pound, I'm stronger than you. And I was like, he competed at, I think, 128 or something like that. And I was like, bro, great for you. I was like, you are incredibly strong.
Yeah.
But I curl your max bench. I mean, not really. You know, he was benching, I think, like 250 or something, but, you know, 275. I was like, that's still insane. You know, I was like, but like you said, you know, there's no weight class in the jungle, bro.
Yeah, man. Wow.
He was trying to say like if he bulked, he would get to be stronger than me. I was like, that's not how it works. That's how it worked. Everyone would be Julius Maddox. At 450. If you could maintain a 2 times bodyweight bench, he should be benching 900 pounds. That's not how it works. You know.
Yeah,
But yeah,
linear progression all the way, bro.
could you imagine? That would be great. I wish it worked that way. I would just that's it. Every week, I'm just going to add 5 pounds on my bench. As long as my body weight keeps going up, it should work. I'll bench 900 by the end of the year.
I use that example all the time in class, man. When they're trying to I'm like, what are you doing? It's like, oh, but last week I did this. And I was like, dude, I've been lifting 14 years. I should be benching 500 kilos. That's not going to happen, mate.
Yeah.
Look at me. They're like, so? I'm like, no, dude, like, you're not Superman. Pack it in.
Well, the other thing is like all these kids, they max out like every other month.
Mm.
Like there was this kid who was like 18 and he had great potential. I think he was younger even, maybe like 16 or 17. So I had my friend who's like a top level coach. He just squatted 900 in a competition, 2,200 total. Top level coach. And I let him do like my off season work. I had him program him. I had a nutritionist write him a nutrition plan, everything like that. And here's one of the other kittens. Oh. But in a 12-week block, this one's like a kid. Hey, she doesn't even care. She's just walking around. But so in a 12-week block, how many times do you think he went off program to max out?
12, 8 to 12.
I think he went off program like 6 times. That means he was maxing out like every other week. And then at the end of the program, he was like, man, I didn't really make much gains from him. I don't think I'm going to stick with him. And I was like, dude, bro, you didn't even follow the program for 2 weeks. But yeah, it was just like, for me, dude, I max out, once every maybe 6 months.
Yeah.
And then it's like a 3-week period of maxing out. So you probably get it. You do the same thing.
Yeah. Twice a year, man.
Yeah, twice a year. Exactly. Yeah.
Truly.